Hello. How's everyone doing? Let's go ahead and get our volume set correctly. Since it doesn't seem to want to save that information. Hey, are you still playing this thing?
Wait, don't I know you?
Shut up. All right. So we're back. We seem to be on the last artifact here in this hall, and then we have the whole last hall left. Wait, did I do one from this hallway accidentally last time? Or maybe that hallway was never full? I don't know this one by name. $16.10. I always have a rough time with this, my first few time surfings. I feel like I get the hang of it shortly, but sometimes just gotta warm up, you know? It's a bit of a warm up. And sometimes they just seek you out. What are you gonna do about it, right? Please stop, please stop. There we go. Yo, Ninthefall, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming sub, by the way. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao. Do you know what this is?
The answer to this question, signore. I happen to know it. If that's not a telescope, then I'm not a poet. And poetry indeed has gained me much clout. Take this a book of verse, if you have any doubt.
Uh-huh. I feel like I have to adjust the MIDI while the game is open at some point in order to get the MIDI settings to be actually correct. Never heard of this guy.
Hi. Have you heard of Galileo?
I just said no. I haven't.
Certo, who hasn't? But his name is associated with the good and the bad news. Ah, look at the lovely moon, Signore Mario.
Yes, lovely.
Yes, lovely.
I'll take the good news first.
Galileo studies the heavens. He says that the moon has seas and mountain ranges, and that it is lit by light from the sun.
An amazing thought, no? All of these years we thought it was lit up from inside.
And the bad news?
And the bad news?
Ah, not everyone believes his ideas. Galileo is a famous man, it's true. But I hear he uses his quick wit to ridicule his opponents. He has made many enemies, including the Roman Catholic Church.
Yikes.
Yikes.
How did he do that?
The church
We need a
believes
yikes
Aristotle
counter.
to be the greatest scientist of the ancient world. But Galileo has said that Aristotle made many errors. Ouch! Where did this ball come from? Is it yours?
Do you think Galileo is a better scientist?
They say he's very good, but what do I know of science? I know that Galileo plays the lute and the organ, and that he writes songs and poems. I am much more interested in matters of the heart.
How did Galileo become famous?
He invented a spyglass for the heavens. He saw that the Milky Way is really many, many stars clustered together. But I prefer to look at the sky and dream. Tonight I want to wax poetic.
Alright, well here's a book, I
Do
guess.
you want this poetry book?
A book of romantic verse to recite to my beloved. Grazie, Mario. Now what can I do for you?
Do you know what this is for?
Let me see. Dio buono! The
Dio
moon is
buono.
not smooth at all. It has huge craters in it. Per favore, take it away. I prefer to gaze at the moon from afar. Some things are best left to the imagination.
So true.
Hey, you there. Do you know Galileo?
He just happens to be my mathematics professor. You're not from the church, are you?
We don't have any Italians in chat right now, do we?
No, I'm here to find Galileo and give him this.
Oh, good. The church is annoyed with him for questioning Aristotle's ideas and finding errors. Most people, including the church leaders, think Galileo is wrong and should be arrested.
Okay. Seems like we're clear. This guy sounds just like actual Italians. Very real Italian accent. Yikes!
Like, what ideas did Aristotle have?
Aristotle believed that all the planets circle the Earth. But Galileo agrees with the Polish astronomer Copernicus, who says that the planets circle the sun.
I hear it said that Galileo was a
I
bit
hear
of
it
an
said.
inventor.
True. Galileo is like Da Vinci,
Da Vinci.
smart in many things. He perfected an air thermometer as well as this compass, which measures ratio and proportions.
This game's 100% accurate.
What is the astronomer working on now?
Neglecting his math students, I can tell you that. Ever since he perfected the Dutch telescope by adding a second lens, he's been on one roof or another looking at Jupiter.
What's he looking for?
I can't talk anymore, Mario. I'm conducting an experiment based on Galileo's law of falling bodies. And I'm afraid I've dropped the ball.
God, been there before.
Here, have a ball.
Grazie. Now I can
Here,
finish my
have a
homework.
ball.
I have to show Galileo's mathematical formula proving that all objects fall at the same speed. Aristotle believed that heavier ones fall faster than light ones.
That's true. You can just know that to be true. Heavier things definitely fall faster.
So, Galileo proved Aristotle wrong?
Yes, but a lot of people still don't believe it. Galileo has taught us that we can't blindly accept scientific theories just because those in authority claim they are true.
What else have you learned from Galileo?
Oh, many things. My favorite is his law of inertia, which shows that a moving object, if left alone, will continue to move forever. That is, if slowing forces, such as friction, could be eliminated.
I think the greatest crime that this game commits is trying to convince us that these people in their times were considered cool and hip. Look, buddy, I know they were losers. I know that they were losers during their time.
But you never said why he's looking at Jupiter.
I bet he's looking for proof that Copernicus was right. You see, Copernicus was certain that our moon circles the Earth.
But what's Jupiter got to do with it?
Galileo would like you with all these questions. What if he found moons that circle Jupiter? It will prove our moon does indeed circle the Earth, and therefore that all planets circle the sun.
We've still got so much left to go, Hippo Man. I'm so sorry.
Thanks. Why did they name this a telescope?
If your vocabulary you wish to enhance, the name means to see at a great distance. It is from two words, and those words are Greek. Tele and scope are the words that you speak.
Wow! What do you know about Galileo?
Ah, Galileo is a name that trips off the tongue. He studies the planets,
That's good,
the
Wobbly.
stars, and the sun. At first, these things appear to be way beyond reach, and that is why he came here to Padua to teach.
I want to stick this man's head in a toilet, you know? Oh, fuck, they haven't invented toilets yet, have they? Shit.
You're pretty good. What else can you tell me?
Galileo was born in Pisa in 1564 and told his father he would study medicine no more. He heard about astronomy and that made him yearn. So it was mathematics he decided to learn.
What does math have to do with astronomy?
Oh my god,
Excuse
Mario.
me, signore. I don't mean to be rude. As you can see, I'm in a fine poetic mood, but reciting my verse is how I make my living, and something of value you should now be giving.
I do not like this man.
What does math have to...
Excuse me,
Do you want this compass?
Ah, this is something I certainly shall treasure, for it appears
Apropos
to
of
be
nothing.
an instrument of measure.
He did not ask for a
And
compass.
Now, again, I shall traverse the poetic path, which I believe had led us to none other than math.
Yes. What does math have to do with astronomy?
Mathematical formulas are what Galileo uses. The results of his experiments he therefore never loses. Performing experiments is what Galileo does best, for he found a way to put science to the test.
So math can be used in all kinds of science.
Now you understand what makes Galileo so great. He always asks questions. He leaves nothing to fate. Experimental science will be his claim to fame. And everyone will know him by his first name.
Uh-huh.
Where do you think I can find him now?
I imagine he could be anywhere under the stars, unlocking the secrets of Jupiter or Mars. If you
No,
find
strangely, I
him,
think you'll find that
and
this game
if you
fails to
don't
mention that
mind,
Asia figured out
tell
most of
him
this shit
he's
before
the
any of these
greatest
white dudes.
Scientist of all time.
A lecture on astronomy at the University of Pisa inspired him to pursue his talents as a mathematician. But when he began to question the ideas of Aristotle, Galileo became unpopular with ancient scientist's chief supporter, the Roman Catholic Bible. The Roman Catholic chemist. Proportional telescope? Is telescope a word in here? It's not. There's no telescope. Proportional what? Proportional what? Compass. 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 Got it. Distance. Saw moon circling Jupiter. Proving the Polish astronomer Copernicus correct. Planets orbit the moon. Experimental science?
Evening, Galileo Galilei. What's up?
My God.
Just Galileo will do, son.
What a
Many
line
wonderful
read.
things are up, but they are way over your head. I would share them with you, but I am unable to do so without my new refractor.
Yeah, we're getting another read on that one.
Evening, Galileo Galilei. What's up?
Just Galileo will do, son.
Evening, Galileo Galilei. What's up?
Just Galileo.
That's so good.
Will this help you get closer to your goals?
My telescope. Grazie, Mario. I am so pleased. You have made things so crystal clear. Look, there are moons circling Jupiter. Copernicus was right.
Well, my job here is done. What's up, Galileo Galilei?
Oh, are you still playing this thing?
Do you want this flask? 1885. Is this Marie Curie? I don't actually know what this is. That's good, Rum. Oh, shit, I gotta do this. Hate this fucking shark. Shark is fucking up my shit. Got it. Damn, fucking Koopas everywhere. Alright.
Pardon me, do you recognize this?
Ah oui.
These
It is
sharks
a
are worse.
flask from a scientist lab. My guess would be
Oh, Louis
that
Pasteur.
it belongs to Monsieur Pasteur, the greatest living
The
scientist
greatest.
and my personal hero.
You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna talk my shit. You know what? This guy is, once again, we got another guy coming into the studio, at least taking a shot at a French accent. Is it good?
Why is
I don't know,
Pasteur
not
your
French.
hero?
But did he
If it
try?
were
He
not for Louis
tried.
Pasteur, the entire wine industry of France would have been lost back in 1857. It was his genius that saved the heart of French culture.
See, even Eunice says it's great. So I respect. I respect that they're giving it a shot.
Wow, what happened? How did he do it?
He discovered wine goes sour because of tiny things called microorganisms living in it. These germs travel through the air and get into the wine to live there, causing it to go bad much faster.
How did he solve the problem?
Ah, that is what is so brilliant.
You sure?
He
This sounds
found
like
out
every
by
French guy in every
gently
movie I've ever
heating the
seen.
wine, the tiny organisms were destroyed, but the flavor of the wine was unaffected.
Do you think this game was used as educational? A lot of Software Toolworks games were. Yeah, I would imagine this probably did show up in schools.
That's wonderful. How do you know all this?
Because I read a book, Mario.
I was
Maybe try
fortunate
reading a
enough
fucking
to
book
learn
once in a
about
while.
Pasteur at one of the night classes he established for workermen like me. He believes in applying science to real-life problems.
That makes sense. Where were these classes?
At the Université of Lille, where he was professor of chemistry.
You sure?
Here, take my school scarf. You'll feel right at home if you visit
I'm
the
just
campus.
saying, this guy's accent sounds 100% authentic. I'm feeling really good about this accent right now. Maybe I'm getting one guide by the Quebecois, you know?
Good day, Taylor. Do you know Monsieur Pasteur?
The man they call the greatest chemist of this century. But of course, his work affects either France and the world, even me.
I'm sorry, Yuna. I'm literally just baiting you. That's all I'm doing. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. You're lovely.
How does his work affect you?
Without him, I would have no silk to work with. Imagine, no silk shirts, no silk petticoats, no silk stockings for the fashionable mademoiselle, not even silk thread to sew with.
See, I recognize that this guy's accent's not great, okay? I recognize this guy isn't bringing the heat like that guy from the cafe. This guy's got no sauce, you know? He's got no juice.
Silk? What did Pasteur have to do with silk?
Why, mon petit friend, it was he who looked through
This guy
his
sounds like me
microscope
when I
and
try to do a
discovered
French
the
accent.
tiny parasites that were killing the silkworms.
Wow! What did he do then? Destroy them?
Yes, mon ami. He devised a
Yes,
method of
mon
stopping
ami.
them from breeding. He ended the spreading of these destructive creatures and saved the silk industry.
Silk industry. I'm pretty sure that's how a French person would pronounce that. Industry. Ugh.
Amazing. So he's an expert on silkworms.
Not before 1868 he wasn't. His previous triumphs were with purifying wine and milk. Here, please take this bottle of milk, and don't worry about it going sour soon. It's been pasteurized.
This guy really phoned it in. You know, it's like... As someone who does some pretty shitty accents of some specifically a few pretty shitty accents, this guy is phoning it in like I phone it in, you know? Oh, I bet he had a great time. I love this for him.
Pasteurized. What does that mean?
I would love to explain it to you the best I can, monsieur, but I promised my daughter I will bring her a bunny from the pet shop, and I must finish my work first. Ah, where does the time go?
Wasn't Gambit from like Louisiana, not from... I mean, you know, I know there's some similarities in the accents, but wasn't Gambit not French? Was Gambit French? Was Gambit French? Do I not know anything about X-Men? Am I showing off that I don't know nothing about no X-Men? Cajun. I was so stuck on the word Creole that I... Was it Cajun? I'm... Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like my head was stuck on the word Creole, and I could not find the word Cajun in my head. Anyway.
Excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not intruding.
Fuck that, I hope I am intruding.
Monsieur. Normally, I would be assisting my friend
What are you
and
working on?
colleague Pasteur, but as I am no longer...
I'm about to slap the Erlenmeyer out of his hand. You're not working on nothing now.
You're his assistant. Why aren't you helping him?
I am Pierre-Paul Emile Roux, but...
Oh, you're the one they
Emile.
named that sauce
I have been
after.
his assistant for some 20 years. We had a difference of opinion on whether or not we were ready to test vaccines on human subjects.
Oh man, you'd be... Don't tell him about the future, Mario.
What's a vaccine?
Don't tell him about the future,
Only
Mario.
the medical breakthrough
Keep
of
it a
the
secret.
century. A vaccine for rabies, for example, would be a preventative dose of the same microorganisms that cause rabies. I feel we need to do more tests.
So Pasteur is a reckless man.
Oh no, monsieur. He looks at everything with minute care. It's just that this little boy, bitten by a mad dog, will surely die if Louis is wrong. He is staking his considerable reputation on this.
If he was bitten by a rabid dog, then things already aren't looking great for him. Maybe now's the time for recklessness.
You mean he doesn't know if it'll work?
He knows it works on animals like this rabbit. It has been vaccinated and is completely healthy. Please take it as a gift, an example of Pasteur's great achievement.
I think there have been very, very isolated, like, single-digit number of times that rabies has been controlled in such a way that it's, the person hasn't died from it. But it's so infinitesimally small, the number of times that's happened, that it might as well be 100% fatality rate. Yeah, and every time it was like they had to put them into a medically induced coma in order to like get past it. It's wild. It is... Rabies is genuinely... If you're not familiar with rabies beyond like dog has foamy mouth, if you're not familiar with rabies, it is legitimately the most terrifying thing I can imagine. I can't think of a thing that scares me more than what it's like if one were to contract rabies.
Can you use this bunny?
Oh, mon petit ami Mario, my little girl will be so pleased. This bunny is beautiful and appears to be quite healthy. I bet this is one of the rabbits from Monsieur Pasteur's lab.
I didn't know that you could still get the vaccine after you've been bitten. I didn't know you had like a window of opportunity there. That's really interesting.
How did you know that? Monsieur Pasteur is well known as being very sensitive to all living creatures. They say it pains him greatly to harm animals for his experiments, so he enjoys placing his healthy animals in good hands.
Oh my god. Ron. Okay, Ron, that's legitimately the most fucked up thing you've ever drawn. Fantastic work. 10 out of 10. I commend you. Yeah, I wasn't aware of this. That's actually better than I realized. I had no idea that, like, rabies was... You know what I mean when I say survivable, but it's as survivable as it is.
Nice. Say, do you know if this flask is his?
It could very well be, Ami. The only way to know for certain is to ask the lab.
I still think rabies is fucking terrifying, though.
I'd like to know more about Professor Pasteur.
Pardonnez-moi, the cafe needs some milk.
See, I like this guy. This guy's trying. This guy's giving it his best. We're talking about rabies because this is the guy who invented the rabies vaccine. This is a guy who, invented the vaccine.
Here, have a milk.
Ah bon, merci.
This guy
Mario,
invented
for the
rabies.
milk. We no longer have to worry about its freshness, for it has been gently heated like the wine. The process is now known as pasteurization.
Man, you really chewed on that word, huh? You made he made a fucking meal out of that word. I have never seen one word feed so many. Aerotone, thanks so much for the Prime Gaming sub. I know, it's so weird how everyone's like, don't worry, this milk will literally never spoil. It's been pasteurized. It's like, I don't, that's not how it works. Please show me the fridge at Software Toolworks.
Has Pasteur always been a chemist?
Bah oui, ever since hearing
Oh,
a series
yeah.
of lectures by the great teacher Dumas. They say it was Dumas who helped inspire Pasteur's scientific curiosity and passion for discovery.
Pasteur must work hard at it to be so good.
I have heard he practically lives in his laboratory. He is so dedicated.
Jesus, Wobbly. Yeah, the clock resets to UTC every time I reboot it, so... I'm tired of fighting it, man. I don't know. I'm just tired of fighting it.
Thanks. I had no idea chemistry was so exciting.
Oh, oui. Sometimes it is exhilarating, to be sure. But mostly, it is hours of careful observation through microscopes in a cold lab like this one. Brr. Pardon me. I must go turn up the furnace.
My guy, you're gonna love this. You know how you invented vaccines? I invented scarf.
Here, have a scarf.
This is gonna change your life.
Friend, this is much better. You know, in a way, I wish I was with Louis on this rabies case. Ever since his stroke in 1868, he has required more help in the lab.
Yikes.
Yikes! Where did Mario become a
At
yikes
age
guy? What the
46,
fuck?
Still in his prime. His left arm remains paralyzed to this day. His wife, Marie, helps him considerably. She is an incomparable companion for him and his best collaborator.
It's wild how we played the whole first half of this game and Mario never once said yikes. And in the second half of this game, he said it like 7 times. I do not understand how Mario became a yikes guy.
I'd like to help too. Maybe this flask.
That flask is most certainly from Louis' lab. It appears to contain his most recent rabies vaccine. He's probably looking for it.
Wow, I'll take it to him right now.
I'll take it to him right now.
Please hurry, mon ami. Time is of the essence. You will be doing a great service to Louis and to science.
You know, how did this one work out? Was this one... So, on a scale of cafe guy to Taylor, how did the Academy guy turn out? Was he pretty solid? If those are the ends of our spectrum. Cosmocall, thanks so much for the resub. Middle tier, okay. It pains him greatly to harm animals for his experiments. I mean, don't get me wrong, he'll still fucking do it, but he'll think to himself the whole time, man, that sucks. It's not an architect, I'll tell you that much. Due to his discovery of a method of killing microorganisms, nailed it. This process, most commonly used to preserve milk, has come to be known as pasteurization. In 1857, the French wine industry was threatened with disaster when microorganisms soured the barrels of stored wine. Pasteur applied his discovery and killed the germs without ruining the taste. You know, he seems to be okay with killing germs, but then he feels bad about hurting animals? Real double standard on that one. When the important French silk industry was losing millions of worms due to disease, Pasteur looked through his microscope? I mean, it does say right afterwards microscopic parasites. Disease-causing microorganisms, or germs, disgusting gross germs, traveled through the air. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it, little man.
Hello, Mr. Pasteur. What's going on?
Please, monsieur. I am at a crucial stage in my work. This boy was bitten by a rabid dog, and I must find the right serum quickly. You must go.
Is this a famous story of him trying to come up with a rabies vaccine for someone who had recently been bitten by a dog? Did the boy live? Did he actually pull it off?
Is this the flask you've been missing?
Ah, mon Dieu. This is the exact flask I have needed. Now I can make the rabies vaccine.
Do I want
And
spoilers?
save this boy's life.
You know what? Yeah.
You have come
Scoop me
in
on the story.
nick of time. Merci, Mario.
I mean that boy in particular. Like, did he complete his vaccine in time for that boy in particular? That one lad, the one lad. He's 100% dead today. You know what, you had a tough message to communicate, and I appreciate you being strong enough to share it with me. I'm a little worried about this location being on the list. I have concerns. I don't know if it's the same place. I don't know enough about... I don't know. I don't know enough. World War II's already come up in the word list. It was during, someone. Gandhi, thank you. Thank you, Raldus. Yes, during Gandhi's chapter, World War II came up. Is your name Mozart? Then I don't care about you.
Pardon me, ma'am. Do you know Mozart?
Why, yes. Perhaps better than anyone. I am his wife, Constance. If you are after him to collect payments on a debt, you'll have to be patient. Do we owe you money?
Okay, that makes me happier, Paratroopa. I wasn't aware of any other reference. Like, I did not know any other context for that word. It's the only context I knew.
No, not me. Do you owe lots of people money?
My apologies, good sir. Our finances go up and down, I'm afraid. Since Wolfie has no rich patron, nor a position at the royal court, we have no steady income. That makes life a bit more difficult.
That's bullshit, Kindest. Are you telling me that exactly one segment of this game got the history inaccurate? Are you telling me there's exactly one segment in here that was not 100% verified as being historically accurate? Unbelievable. I will not accept it. This is in 256 colors. The game only runs in 256. I tried to see if I could get it running in 16-bit, but it wouldn't.
Wolfie, huh? You call Mozart Wolfie?
Oh yes, my pet name for him. When we first met, he was pursuing my sister Aloysia, and we were just friends. But
Tuskegee
he soon
is George
realized that he
Washington
and I were
Carver.
better
Okay.
suited for one another, so we were wed.
How nice. But isn't it rough with no income?
Yes, but at least the people love Wolfie's music. It's the aristocracy who are fickle. They prefer to pay us in baubles, snuff boxes and jewelry, like these shoe buckles. Take one, please.
I'd be happy to take one of these shoe buckles. It would be an honor.
Thanks. It sounds like he needs a patron.
Things are looking up. Some wealthy fellow is thinking of paying Wolfie a handsome fee for an opera. Now you must excuse me. I'm looking for little Carl's favorite toy so he'll behave tonight.
Was Mozart the one who wrote Don Giovanni? That's not Mozart. Who the fuck wrote Don Giovanni? That was Mozart? Okay. I like Don Giovanni. I saw that one. That's one of the, I'd say, small handful of operas I've seen.
Hi, what's going on here?
I beg your pardon, tiny fellow. I am obviously rehearsing for the pivotal role in the Mozart opera Così fan tutte. You may watch, but please, stay out of my way.
That was an emotional trip through that. I took an emotional trip through that one. I like Die Zauberflaute. I've performed Sarastro's aria from that. Yo, Drex, thank you so much for the resub.
I promise I will. Is this a new opera?
New? Of course not. Where have you been? This opera opened a year ago, just before the emperor who commissioned it died. It has been performed on and off since. This is a new presentation of it.
So Mozart worked for the emperor?
Didn't I just say that? From what I heard, it wasn't nearly as difficult as when Mozart was 13, and the archbishop made him concertmaster. He hated that.
Was Mozart German or Austrian? We're in Vienna, right? That's Austria. Why do here's a fun question. Are like, I noticed that we never shit on people who are doing German and Austrian accents. At least you see it less. Is it that those accents are easier, or is it that we're just less picky? I just never see anyone be like, oh, that Austrian accent sucks. Well, I mean, German is closer, but yeah, okay, that's fair.
Why didn't he like it?
Why? He wanted more freedom, of course. Here, make yourself useful, won't you? Pick up this violin bow and take it where it belongs.
And take it where it
Run along
belongs.
now.
It was just, I mean, I'm not trying to make a value judgment. I'm just thinking about why it is that you hear a lot less criticism of really any accent other than French. I don't know why. I guess my real question comes back to, why is it that French specifically, everyone who attempts a French accent comes in for such a drubbing?
I'd like to know more about Mozart.
I must have a shoe buckle for my costume. Where is my shoe buckle?
Where's my shoe buckle? Please bring me my shoe buckle.
Do you want this buckle?
Very well. You have some uses after all. This buckle will do. All these questions about Mozart. I'll bet he owes you money.
My understanding is it's mostly like Parisians that are very snobby about like language learners and people with bad French accents. I think broadly, the people who criticize me are just having fun at my expense. They're not really snobby about it.
No, not at all. I just want to know about him.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he did owe you. He owes everyone. He needs a patron, like his friend Haydn. But he's too independent-minded. He'll end up poor. Mark my words.
Consider your words marked, buddy. I figured the Quebecois take enough, get enough shit from everyone else. They're just passing along a bit.
Gee, don't you like his music?
Oh, don't get me wrong. He has talent. His great versatility sets him above the other composers. The characters in his operas have depth and feel. Perfect for a great performer like me.
In your humble opinion, whose flute is this?
Why, that's Mozart, of course.
It looks magical.
He was in here for rehearsal yesterday and mentioned something about a special flute. He must have left it here. You better take it to him.
Right.
Hi, I'm Mario. Are you a friend of Mozart's?
Ha! I'm
Yes.
Mario!
I do count myself as one of his close friends. I've known the family for years. In fact, I once told his father, Leopold, that Wolfgang is the greatest composer I know.
That's funny, Egrets.
That's quite a compliment. You must know music.
My dear fellow, in all modesty, you must have heard of me. I am Joseph Haydn, composer. I have a bit of a following here in Vienna.
Do you? I've never heard of you. Maybe you should do a little less hiding.
I see. Do you live and work here?
I have lived here for some time, but tomorrow I depart for London to live and work for a while. I'll miss my good friend Wolfgang and his wife Constance.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Haydn jokes are literally like the lowest bar of music history jokes.
Have you and Mozart ever worked together?
No, but he says my music has inspired him. In fact, he wrote
And his
6
wife, whose name I
string
also know.
quartets that he dedicated to me. It was just before he began to work on one of his masterpieces, The Marriage of Figaro.
That's one opera I've never seen that I'd like to.
He must have been doing this a long time.
Since he was a mere baby. Imagine, he composed his first symphony at age 6. I was 28 when I wrote my first. His first concert tour was when he was only 7. He was a child star, a true prodigy.
I love the voice acting in this, because sometimes they'll hit just one word that they make a whole dinner out of, and I love it.
Wow! Does he have any kids of his own?
Children? Yes, they do have a son, Carl. In fact, yesterday I was looking after him. Ah, that reminds me. I have to return this little toy of his to Constance. Could you take it for me?
Okay.
Of course. Do they have any other children?
Alas, no. Poor Constance and Wolfgang have lost 4 children to sickness over the years. It's so sad. Ah, you must excuse me. I must find my violin bow so I can finish packing.
Damn. I hope someone finds that for you. Oh wait, I have a violin bow. Will this one work?
Here, have a bow.
Ah, my violin bow. Many thanks, my friend. As soon as my packing is completed, I can relax and enjoy my farewell dinner with the Mozarts.
Will he play for you?
It will be an honor if he does. He has played for the emperors of Austria many times, you know. Ah, his symphonies, his operas, masterpieces. His music will be remembered a long time.
I'm sure they'll remember your music too.
Nope.
Perhaps friends have flattered me that I have genius, but Mozart has surpassed me. His music rises above mere notes on paper to something heavenly, inspiring. What a great age for music.
Cool, thanks. Cool story, man. You're actually a very normal guy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Got real normal guy energy.
Do you want this toy?
Carl's toy! Oh, you must have been with Joseph. I forgot he watched Carl for me yesterday. Thank you, my friend. I hope you can join us tonight to bid farewell to Joseph.
Mario, don't touch that flute. Sorry, I've got other plans.
Maybe I can. You must really like hiding.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I don't know, I'm more partial to
He's a dear
Seekin
friend,
myself.
and my husband reveres him. He often refers to Joseph as his teacher. In a way, I think he's like a second father to Wolfie.
As much as I don't want to run interference on behalf of this game, I will say that I think some of the choices they make are to make this actually accessible to American children and have it serve its purpose of teaching them history, even though much of the history is just outright wrong. I do think pronouncing it Yosef might have done some disservice. One of the earliest child stars. Oh, composed his first symphony. I think there's some, I think there are relatively infrequently, there has relatively infrequently been times where in the service of like trying to create a tiny little story for each vignette, they've been more wrong than they needed to be. But, yeah, also, yeah. We live in the information age now. Like, we just have access to all this information. Why do we teach history wrong, I wonder? You moved to Vienna? Her pet name for him was Andy Iverson. Bowser. Wow, there's three spaces in this one. I'm not even gonna read it. Because he had no... Because he had no perspiration. The good news is he had no scurvy. Has no, it's not patrons, it's patron. The answer was patron I was looking for. Just singular patron. Shut the fuck up. Well, this is no good.
Well, are you still playing this thing?
What year are we in? 1791. Okay, well that's a little different. You'd have to ask Red about it. Well, actually, that's not true. I could probably get it off of this hard drive. Remind me about it later, Horrible, and I'll get it for you.
Mr. Mozart, here's your flute.
My flute, brought to me as if by magic. This is the foundation I have needed for the opera. All of my ideas are coming together now. Thank you, Herr Mario.
You're welcome. So this flute is an inspiration?
Indeed, a grand opera is forming in my brain, the notes dancing about and settling in their places on the bars. I shall call it Die Zauberflute, the magic flute. It will be brilliant.
Die Zauberflute. It's right here. I'm pinning it right now in art. There you go. Enjoy that awful link. Okay. Back to the history mines. Boom boom. Boom boom. Boom boom boom. Philadelphia, 1752. In Philadelphia City, a farmer, a lawyer, and a sage, a bit gouty in the leg.
Hello, Mr. Franklin.
Hello, Mr. Franklin.
Some are weather-wise, some are otherwise, my friend. I would be unwise if I didn't take advantage of this storm. No time to talk now. Come back later.
The 1776 is one of my favorite musicals. It sucks so much. I love it.
Hi. What are you up to?
I might ask you the same question, sir. I'm a constable of the City Watch. I help police this area here at 4th and Vine Streets. And you? You look like a tradesman of some sort.
Right. I'm a plumber by trade. So you're a cop?
Cop? If you mean constable on patrol,
So
yes,
you a
that's
cop?
me.
That's another soundbite I need.
And the business people to watch over their property every night. And I'm proud to be a loyal servant of the king.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But why are you out here so early?
I patrol this block from dusk to dawn, but just between you and me, I'm never quite sure when the sun is going to go down. So, I wait here every afternoon to make sure I'm not late for work.
You see, I said I just love hitting people with this stick so much that I'm willing to wait here all day for my shift to start.
Couldn't you find out when the sun sets?
Well, Ben Franklin prints that almanac, but since I disagree with his politics, I won't buy one. Looks like I'm needed across the street. Here's a penny to watch this corner while I'm gone.
What a dipshit! I love this guy! Smartest cop. Like, literally smartest cop of all time. This is the high watermark.
Thank you for the penny.
Don't mention it, please.
Thank you for the penny.
Don't mention it, please.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up, buddy.
Hello. I was just in the neighborhood and...
This is a free lending library, the first of its kind in the colonies. Please keep your voice down.
I'm not buying that woke-ass almanac.
Sorry. Wow. Where'd you get all these books?
Shh. The good citizens of Philadelphia combine their collections to create this library.
Oh, sorry. Hey, that's a great idea.
Shh. It was Ben Franklin's idea. We at the Leather Apron Club discussed it among ourselves and agreed that it was an idea of uncommon merit. It was common sense, really.
Do you have any books by Franklin?
Oh, we do have a few extra copies of Poor Richard's Almanac. Here, I'll give you one. I think you'll find it both entertaining and informative. Poor Richard's is very popular here in Philadelphia.
Poor Richard? Who's he?
Well, actually, it's a pseudonym for Mr. Franklin. He has quite a sense of humor and writes under many names. He has his reasons. The almanac is simply a
I didn't know that Poor Richard was a
views.
pseudonym for Ben Franklin. I just didn't know that.
Sounds neat. How many has he written?
Oh, he's published one every year for the past 20 years. If you're interested, you can subscribe. Bring me back a stamp, and I will put your name on the mailing list.
Y'all are trying to get me to cut every line of dialogue from this game to make for sub sounds.
Hello, is this Ben Franklin's store?
Why, it certainly is. You must be new to this city, sir. Most folks here know all about my Ben, his almanac, and his bifocals.
Oh, you must be Mrs. Franklin.
I most certainly am, sir. I made his acquaintance when he moved here to Philadelphia. We married a few years later, once he had become a successful printer.
I hear they still romp through Cupid's Grove together.
He's a printer as well as a merchant?
Actually, has retired from printing to pursue his inventions and scientific experiments. Although he does remain involved in the publishing of his newspaper. Then there's the almanac.
Here it is. Here it is. If you're counting, this is like number 8.
Yikes! How does he find time to do all that?
He became a yikes guy. I don't know what happened.
Always says, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Your husband wrote that?
Oh, yes. Using the name Poor Richard, he fills his annual almanac with information folks find useful. And clever sayings full of wisdom like, look before you or you'll find yourself behind.
That's a good one. What are some others?
Let's see. Some favorites are, a penny saved is a penny earned, and keep thy shop and thy shop will keep thee. And I must say we earn a pretty penny in our humble shop.
What kind of things do you sell?
A variety of goods, including stamps like this one. Normally they're a penny, but I'm sure I can trust you to pay me when you can.
Here, have a penny.
Thanks, but alas, I already own one.
Thank you for the stamp.
My pleasure. Excuse me, I have another customer.
Can you use this penny?
A penny for the stamp. You are an honorable man, sir. You must come from a good family like Ben.
Okay! Okay, fine!
Can you tell me about your family?
Our family consists of our dear daughter Sally and our son William. I think the two of them are outside. Ben wanted a big family like the one he grew up with. Imagine being one of 17 children.
Yeah, it sounds just like him. That's Mario. Mario Polo. Just like you've always known him.
Why are Ben and his son outside in the storm?
Oh, his experiments. He's using a kite to try to prove lightning is electricity, but he's misplaced the key he needs to finish his work. I pray nothing strikes him, except perhaps inspiration.
Do you want this almanac?
Can you use this almanac?
Forgive me, but I simply do not need one.
Well, good to not be wasteful, I suppose.
Can you use this almanac?
While I do appreciate your offer, I must decline.
Sounds neat. How many has he written?
Oh, he's published one
Can you use this stamp?
Thank you, but I cannot accept it.
Do you want this almanac?
Franklin's Almanac. Well, I suppose if you were to give this to me as a gift, I could use it to find the times of the sunsets. All right, my little friend. I thank you, and I'll use it gladly.
I did a good deed. I gave a woke almanac to a cop. I feel better about myself already.
Why don't you like Franklin's politics?
What? I'm a loyalist, my friend. I support our good King George II. But Franklin doesn't. I'm afraid he speaks treason rather fluently.
Wow! Do you consider him a traitor?
Perhaps that is too strong a word, but I do think he goes too far. He mocks the king in his newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette, and he comes close to inciting people in the colonies to revolt.
But isn't there some truth in what he says?
Granted, taxes are a bit high and the government raises them too frequently. And, as subjects of the crown, we have no voice in the government. Still, the king is the king.
But what about all his neat inventions?
I'd have no complaint if he spent more time inventing, but he thinks too much of gaining freedom from England. I do appreciate these cobblestones of his that keep my feet dry in wet weather.
Looks like we're in for rain tonight.
That'll probably please Franklin. Last storm we had, he was outside taking notes about the lightning. He's working on some foolish idea, no doubt. Mind you, lightning has been known to kill people.
No, bullshit. Those are loyalist lies. Don't listen to him, chat. Chat room, do not listen to this man. That's exactly what they want you to think.
Can you use this stamp?
Ah, you have brought me a stamp. Now, thanks to Ben, you'll receive the almanac in the mail in a few days. Local mail delivery is another one of his contributions.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so now Mario's a WoW guy. Got it. All right.
Shh, not so loud. Yes, he did, but that's not all. He also organized the first fire department and reorganized the police department. Ben's wife could tell you more. Go and speak to her.
Yeah, this is 1752. Good. Normal. This is actually normal. You see this come up sometimes.
Well, are you still playing this thing?
One of 37 children. Franklin was determined not to be a leather apron tradesperson like his father, a candlemaker. Franklin moved to Philadelphia and became a successful writer? Writer's not a word. I always forget writer's not a word. Poor Richards. Proved with a key and a kite that lightning was sick as hell. Refusing money for his inventions, blank, and the Franklin stove, he concentrated on his most important idea, gaining his country's freedom from Egypt. Nope, England. Did not invent the filament. Did he invent gravity? No, he did not invent gravity either. A lot of people say that, but that's not true. He invented the log cabin. Not the light bulb either. The microscope? I don't think he invented anything. I think a lot's been said about the stuff he invented, and it's all fake. He invented scurvy. Well, don't do that. Did I just like go past an obvious thing? I swear to God. I just like scanned the line to try to, bifocals? Ah, of course, bifocals. He invented treason. Look, not every invention has to be a banger. If you invent scurvy, you can really do mostly whatever you want to.
Sounds neat. How many has he written?
Oh, he's published one every year for the past 20 years. If you're interested, you can subscribe. Bring me back a stamp, and I will put your name on the mailing list.
Stamp.
Ah, you have brought me a stamp. Now, thanks to Ben, you'll receive the almanac in the mail in a few days. Local mail delivery is another one of his contributions.
Which other things do I want from here?
Sounds neat. How many has he written?
Oh, he's published one every year for the past 20 years. If you're interested, you can subscribe. Bring me back a stamp, and I will put your name on the mailing list.
Couldn't you find out when the sun sets?
Well, Ben Franklin prints that almanac, but since I disagree with his politics, I won't buy one. Looks like I'm needed across the street. Here's a penny to watch this corner while I'm gone.
Thank you for the penny.
Don't mention it, please.
Thank you for the penny.
Don't mention it, please.
Okay. I've done what I came here to do. Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta do that one. Hold on.
Right. I'm a plumber by trade. So you're a cop?
Cop? If you mean constable on patrol, yes, that's me. I'm paid by the householders.
All right. Those are the ones I wanted from this.
Hello, Mr. Franklin. Aren't you getting wet?
Some are weather-wise, some are otherwise,
Ben, won't you be needing this?
How wonderful. This is the key ingredient I need to make this experiment a success. The world will get a charge out of this.
Oh, this man is absolutely dead. Hey, aren't you getting wet? That's so good, Rum. Hey Dave, are you ready for the totally accurate account of George Washington Carver? Do you want to hear about George Washington Carver's contributions to history? I think it's all about peanuts. Yeah, Zen, thank you so much for the resub. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I swear to God, I just want the mushrooms. Fucked up, man. Everything about this minigame is fucked up.
Hi, Mario the plumber here. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Mario. I'm Henry Ford,
Oh, God.
business executive.
Jesus
I make
Christ.
these automobiles. Isn't this a beauty? It's going to change our lives forever. Everybody will soon own one. You want to buy it?
I don't have the money on me right now, and...
Ideas are money, son. Take this Carver fellow. I'm here to talk to him about his ideas about peanuts. He's got over 300 uses figured out from a little goober. Now that's money in the bank.
There is so much there. There's so much there.
Over 300 uses of the peanut? Like what?
Well, take this ice cream made from the peanut. In fact, here, take it. Try it. If you like it, let me know. I'm thinking of investing in Carver's work.
Why does this man sound like Nixon? What don't I know? What don't I know about these two men Henry Ford and Nixon that they sound the same.
That reminds me. Does this crank look familiar?
A hand crank. Manufactured with good U.S. steel. But no, not mine. How much do you want for it? Never mind. Listen, I've got to run. I've got a flat tire, and it's a long story.
Doesn't sound like a long story. It sounds like you got a flat tire.
Hi, what are you doing?
As a black woman, I don't run into many opportunities here in the South, so I'm trying to study and grab my chance. I'm in Mr. Carver's class, and well, if you know who he is, you know what that means.
Well, gee, I don't know. Who is he?
He's only the smartest teacher here in Alabama, probably anywhere for that matter. He works us hard, I mean really hard. I came to Tuskegee Institute to get a good education, but this...
Is that how you pronounce that? I've always heard it pronounced Tuskegee. Is it softer? Is it Tuskegee?
Gives you a lot of homework, huh?
I'll say. I never thought I'd have to know so much math just to learn farming. He teaches agriculture, and well, he knows just about everything there is to know.
How do I pronounce that word? I mean, at this point, right in this moment, at 10:15 p.m. on November 20th, 2023, I choose not to pronounce it. That's how I choose not to. I pass.
Sounds like you're getting a good education.
Oh, I sure am. I don't mean to complain. I've just been studying so hard that I haven't had time to eat. That's why I'm a little grumpy.
Do you want this ice cream?
Do you want this ice cream?
Thanks. Ice cream from peanuts. He talked about this at his last lecture. You know, this is rich in vitamins, nutrients, and fats. It's also really high in proteins, and best yet, it tastes great.
Okay, so real talk for a moment about the history of the peanut. Were people just not doing shit with peanuts? Did George Washington Carver really just kind of like change the game and tell people like peanuts are actually kind of sick with it?
You know your peanuts. Is that what you study?
All plants, really. Mr. Carver, we call him the root doctor, told us about how planting a peanut could enrich the soil.
Nobody called him that, by the way.
The grown
No one called him
cotton
that.
uses up the soil nutrients.
That is not correct. No one called him that. Yeah, root doctor's like a voodoo thing. That is not what that means, huh?
Really? So peanuts help?
Oh, yes. It's called crop rotation. Some of the farmers are trying it, but they're getting worried. Now they've got acres of worthless peanuts. But Carver thinks a peanut has surprises for us.
Surprises? What do you mean?
Well, Mr. Carver tells us that because these nuts are so rich in nutrients, they might be used to make all sorts of things like butter and cosmetics and...
I didn't think peanuts were that important.
Oh my, yes. In fact, all plants are useful in different
chat.
ways.
Hey chat,
Here,
just smile through the pain.
This painting by my teacher might show you. I would like to give it to you for helping me study.
Smile through the pain.
Hi, I'm Mario, and you are...
According to the name on the front door, I would be Booker T. Washington, headmaster at Tuskegee Institute.
That sounds more accurate to the way I've heard it pronounced before. That sounds more correct.
No, but do you know what this handle thing is?
I do not know, but you might ask Mr. Ford. It seems to resemble the lever for one of his automobiles. Since you are going that way, would you be so kind as to return this tire? Our tests are complete.
Tests? With the tire?
Yes, our science labs are conducting experiments with certain plants, such as the goober from Africa, which you may know as the peanut. Another plant we're testing is the goldenrod.
What are you testing? I don't get it.
It's rather exciting. From the milk of the goldenrod, we can extract rubber. One of our teachers, George Washington Carver, discovered this.
Oh, the professor. I've heard of him.
I'm sure you have. Not only is he the first man of color to receive a master's degree in agriculture, but he is a genius, and I do not use that term lightly. I invited him here.
The music did die. The music has taken a break, all right? Honestly, the music's been through a lot today, and it has decided to take a little break.
Where did you invite him from?
He had just graduated from Iowa State College and had several other offers. But once George saw this land, he was convinced to stay here.
It's a nice place, but why did he want to stay?
Because it's a nice place.
He wanted to contribute to the mission of this fine school for black people. Plus, the land around here needs help. He started a program called School on Wheels to teach farmers ways to improve.
I think kind of pinning him as the peanut guy is probably largely due to that being easy to understand.
What's he teaching them?
I'll show you. I was going to show you a painting George did when he was an exhibited painter. The art shows the connection of soil, plants, animals, and humans. I must find it. Excuse me.
All right, I found your painting.
Can you use this painting?
Yes, this painting. Now,
yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out as well,
part of the
Guy.
land is important to all of life.
Isn't there literally just like a rubber tree where you can get resin to
everything must be healthy,
refine into rubber?
Soil, plants, and us.
Sounds smart to me. Is it working?
Apparently. The Department of Agriculture may make his School on Wheels program nationwide. Planting peanuts to restore the soil is slowly catching on. It may just make the South rich.
You can't thanks Obama. Oh, man. I mean, this wouldn't be interesting to play if it weren't so inaccurate and awful.
Do you want this tire?
Right, like if this were just a faithful representation of
This
history,
must
who
be
gives
the
a shit?
synthetic model I've heard about, made out of goldenrod. Can you believe that? Only a man like Carver would have thought of making tires from flowers.
I've heard a lot about him, but I don't know him.
I'll tell you something about him then. He was born a slave, freed by Lincoln's proclamation of 1863. He studied hard to become the success he is now. Even so, he only makes $1,500 a year.
But what about all his inventions and products?
Yes, you would think he'd be rich by now. Well, he donates much of his work for the people. He's not a business executive, but his work, like mine, is going to have a great impact on our lives.
Shut up, Ford.
So are you going to help him with the business?
I'm going to fund his research.
I know a good thing when I see it. Although his greatest contribution is something bigger than peanuts, and it's something even I can't sell.
What would that be?
Cooperation. The development of greater respect and cooperation between all people, all races, and all levels of business.
I have never seen an attempt to rehabilitate one historical person as much as I am right now. Whew. The water that is being carried on behalf of Henry Ford right now is astounding. George Washington, Andy Iverson. Graduated from... I mean, is the answer it's looking for Tuskegee? No? It's a state. Got it. As the first... It's not that, right? Because... Because he said man of color. And I'm worried what this real small box wants from me. It's a real small box. That box is... Oh, Bob, I'm really trying to find an option that isn't that. It's... Okay. I'm worried that this is what it's also decided to reduce it down. Are you kidding me? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna calm down. I'm sorry. Look, you know what? I'm fairly comfortable presenting this as a snapshot of like sort of bad faith representation of history and inaccuracies, but sometimes even I have to say, come on, this is a little bit fucked up, right? Like it's a little bit fucked up. Like just be normal. Just fucking be normal. Finally, Goober's getting its time in the sun. Thank God Goober's finally getting used. What did you have them plant? Peanuts. Oh. Like, I know that we have at many times pointed out how this game is a little bit fucked up, but it has mostly been a little bit fucked up as a product of its time and a bad faith representation of history. But like, man, somehow this one feels like the worst one. I don't know how. I guess the only one that somehow there have been, somehow this is not the worst one. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Mario. Mind if I come in and visit?
Normally, I would say yes, since we can learn so much from one another. But unless I finish with my experiment and prove the value of peanuts, some farmer friends of mine may be with empty fields.
I've only discovered 299 uses for peanuts, and if I can't find one more, they're going to have my job.
Professor, this nutty thing has got to be yours.
Well, I'll be. I've been looking for this ever since you left. It's the crank to the press. I'm making oil from the peanut, and I can't do it without this.
How did you discover so much in a peanut?
If you study something long enough, you'd be amazed at what you find.
When I first saw the
Sometimes
name
smallest
Tuskegee, I was...
reveals the biggest surprises. Isn't that right, Mario?
I had to know it couldn't be that, but like it's the only touchstone I have for Tuskegee. Like it's the only thing I knew associated with that word. This doesn't bode well. Is my punishment that I have to do the chapter again?
Never give up.
You will be asked to replay the chapter until you learn to appreciate Henry Ford. Technically, no. It's not a virtual machine. It's an emulator. It's PCM. PCEM is the Windows 95 emulator that I'm using, or the PC emulator I'm using.
Wait, don't I know you?
Wait, I'm back here? Fuck. Alright. This music's crunchy. It's okay. It's not too hard for us to just power through chapters that we lost progress on. Born one of 17 children. After learning a few trades, he moved to Philadelphia and became a successful printer. Pointer? I don't know how to spell. Poor Richard's Almanac. Library. Electricity. This is invention, right? I'm supposed to be picking his invention. Bifocals.
Hello, Mr. Frank.
Summer weather.
Ben, won't you?
How?
Alright, cool, we're out of here. Ba-ba-da-ba. Gren, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it. Alright, so we're going back to Tuskegee. Mario's going back to Tuskegee so he can take a dump on the on the hood of Henry Ford's car. That's the only reason we're going back. I've been punished by having to fill this book out again. Carver. My left ear is really enjoying this music.
Professor, this nutty thing has got to be yours.
Well, I'll...
I think we've just got one place left to go. An inkwell from London? What? That didn't work? What year is the... What year is it in this one? Would it be 94? What year did this come out? The deluxe edition. The fuck? I don't know if it's required or if it's an Easter egg, but there's a time you can set it to. Let me look it up. To go to the Software Toolworks offices. It's not an Easter egg, it's just part of the game. Like, does the game point me at it at some point? Or do I have to... Or can I just do it anytime? It does point me at it? Okay. I was just vaguely aware of it, so I was like, oh, I'll just do it right now. But if it'll happen later.
Do you want this inkwell?
Bah! Why, I don't need that. No!
Okay.
Hello. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Bah,
Isn't it?
humbug. Well, what about today makes it different than any other day? I'll tell you what, nothing, that's what. I'm right about that, or I'm not right about anything.
But it's the Christmas season and...
Bah, Christmas. I want nothing to do with it. It's a sentimental waste of time and money. What is it that you want, little man? You're costing me money as we speak.
I am looking for the owner of this inkwell.
Inkwell? Bah! No doubt it belongs to that writer, Charles Dickens. He writes too fast and too often. He came in here yesterday asking me all kinds of foolish questions.
Questions? What kind of questions?
Like the ones you're asking. Why, the people in his novels are based on real people that he meets. I suppose that's why he's England's most popular author. But I won't read any of his books.
Why not?
Because they cost money. Oh, I suppose I might read one of his books if I had one to read. If I got one for free.
Okay. Good for you.
Hi, I'm looking for the owner of this inkwell.
Hi,
That looks as
I'm
though it
Mary
belongs
Great
to the most
Expectations.
popular of England's authors today, Charles Dickens.
Does anybody know Charles Dickens?
Such a silly question. I would venture to say that the whole world knows of Charles by now. You may know him by his pen name, Fars.
No.
I, as his wife, perhaps know him best.
Nobody knows him. Nobody knows him by that.
Mrs. Dickens. Cool. What's it like?
Such questions, small one. We have 10 children, which should tell you much of our home life.
What does that mean?
Charles is always busy with publishers, parties, and of course his writing. But he's a devoted father.
You want to run that one by me again?
What has he written?
My dear fellow, you must be familiar with the Pickwick Papers, or perhaps Oliver Twist, or David Copperfield. These are some of his most famous to date. He's toured the world reading from them.
Mrs. Dickens. Cool. What's it like?
Such questions, small one. We have 10 children, which should tell you much of our home life.
What are they about?
Mostly about the shameful social conditions that exist in England, but presented with much humour. He writes about the wretched lives of the poor. He laughs at the rich and attacks our sins.
Wow. That sounds pretty interesting.
When did he stop being a yikes guy and start being a wow guy?
But I fear I'm running late. Since I'm not sure of the time, I must head home to cook the holiday meal.
Alright, chat. Are you more of a wow guy or a yikes guy? Be honest, okay? No one's judging you. I just want to know, you in particular, are you more of a wow guy or more of a yikes guy? Papa Pichu.
Wow, that sounds pretty interesting.
I would love to tell you more, but I fear I'm running late. Since I'm not sure of the time, I must head home to cook the holiday meal.
The first day, Mario is neither. And then the second stream of this, he was a yikes guy all the way. And then over the course of this stream, he has become very quickly a wow guy. And I don't get it.
Wow, that sounds pretty interesting.
I would love...
Hi, you look lonely. Can we talk?
Hello, sir. I'm lonely and cold because I'm an orphan. I have nowhere to turn but to my dreams. Look at these toys. Aren't they grand?
Damn, you look like shit. Can we talk?
Yeah, neat. Have you been out here all day?
Yes.
Mario definitely not listening to anything she's saying.
Adopted. I can work hard.
I'm sorry.
I'm almost 10 years old, so I can work for you. I can steal for you. Look, I've stolen this book.
What?
Can I have it?
I'm sorry. I just need... Can we run this back one? Hold on. You look lonely. Can we talk? Yeah, I am lonely and cold because I'm an orphan. Yeah, neat. I'm sorry. His response is from I'm lonely and cold because I'm an orphan to yeah, neat. Yeah. I guess that sucks.
Yikes, you stole it? That's wrong. That's...
What are you, a cop?
Wrong.
What are you, a cop now?
That's the only way I know how to survive. The cruel master of the orphanage does not give me food unless I steal for him. I'm very ashamed, but I'm also very hungry.
Huh. I mean okay.
Here, have a book.
Well, don't expect me to give you anything in return, because I won't. I refuse to let this Christmas thing ruin a good day's work.
Lighten up. It's Christmas.
You're starting to really bother me, son. I work. If you don't work, you don't make money. If you don't make money, you become poor and end up in prison. Just ask your writer friend.
What do you mean?
His father was sent to prison for debts. In 1824 it was. Poorest people around, with 8 children in the family. Their father just let money slip between his fingers. Well, it won't happen to me. No.
Bah humbug. Hey, I know you.
Did he just put it together?
You.
Oh. Shit.
Bah humbug. Hey, I know you. Aren't you?
You don't know me, stranger. I have no friends and don't care for any. What will it take to get rid of you? Here, take this watch and take your leave. Christmas. Bah humbug.
Okay.
Do you want this watch?
A humble thanks, plumber. But no thanks.
Think of how much you could sell it for, though.
Can you use this watch?
Thank you, and a Merry Christmas to you. I'm not late after all. Charles is working on the Christmas Carol. We are quite caught up in the spirit of giving. Please, share this turkey with someone.
Yeah. Mario goes outside and eats an entire turkey by himself.
Can you use this turkey?
Thank you, kind sir. I do not need to steal to eat today. If only more people knew of the life we poor children are forced to lead, things might get better for everyone.
I think Dickens is trying to tell people.
Charles Dickens? You know the great boss?
Nobody calls him that.
He was one of
Nobody
us
has called him that.
once. I mean one of the poor, you know? He's gonna change this mess, you'll see. He's a great smart one, he is.
Look, I'm worried here. Do all you kids steal?
No, just some of us poor orphans. A lot of children work all day in the factory, if they're lucky enough to have families. Children must work most of the time.
You can't live like this. How can I help?
I guess like Mr. Dickens is doing by telling people about how hard it is for poor people. Just be kind whenever you can, and to whomever you meet, especially those less fortunate than you.
Even after he became rich and famous as England's most popular author, Charles Dickens never gave up his crusade to help the poor. Father was sent to prison. Put to work in a factory? Copperfield, Oliver Twist, and A Christmas Carol.
Hi, I'm Mario, and I'm pleased to meet you.
And what an interesting character you are, Mario. My powers of observation inform me that you are well-traveled and have seen much.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk, but I must write. Come back later, perhaps.
Mr. Dickens, Paz, is this yours?
Yes, my inkwell, now back in my possession,
Huzzah!
allows me to continue with my writing. Thank you for its return. It's these little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness that help us all.
Why do you write all these stories anyway?
I am chained to my desk with a passion to change the world, Mario. Too much unkindness exists that remains unchecked. I write to point out the wrongs to be righted. And the pay's not bad either.
Paul, are you still playing this thing?
Uh-oh. Mars just out here thinking about them timed hits, you know?
Paul, are you still playing this thing?
Novato 94. What did I put in? 93? Novato, California is the city that Software Toolworks was in.
Excuse me, but where am I?
This is the Software Toolworks Art Department. We aims to please. What can we do for you?
Are you an artist?
As a matter of fact, I'm a lead artist. That means I know all the secret keystrokes to make the paint program work. I just finished work on our history game. Want to see it?
Not really, that sounds kind of boring.
No thanks. Maybe later.
Sure, come back anytime. Just ask the receptionist for Jeff Griffith. And here's a sample of the artwork to remember me by. Say, can you draw? We can always use more artists.
Just look at my sketch of Luigi.
Ah, great work. I'll show it to Vicky Sidley, our art director. We may even call you back for an interview on our next project.
He never calls.
Sorry, but I really must return this disc.
Oh, too bad. Our art director, Vicky Sidley, wants me to find several more artists for our next project. Now you'll never be known as a famous artist.
Yeah, sucks to be me.
What's troubling you, Jeff?
Script files. I need the latest script file to complete this picture. Darn writers. They're always changing things.
Hi, my name is Mario.
Wow, the Mario, in person. Pleased to meet you. I'm Andy Iverson, one of the writers. Actually, I'm a writer-programmer. We've been making this game.
What does writing have to do with a game?
If we didn't spend hours inventing new and exciting adventures for your historical pleasure, you'd be speechless, Mario. Literally. Take this script, please. Rewritten only 50 times.
Wow, so you could just write Bowser out, right?
Has Bowser gotten out of control again? What's he done this time? Is he here too? I'd better call Rachel Koretsky, our editor. We've got to hide these scripts before Bowser steals them.
Yeah, that'd be fucked up, right?
Too late. He took your disc.
Oh no! Then he's trying to prevent you from ever even finding the Timulator.
Timulator?
If he succeeds, it'll spell doom for all those famous historical figures.
How dramatic. But don't worry, I have the disc.
Oh, thank goodness. However, before that disc gets shipped, we have one last, final rewrite to do. But I can't make any changes until I get the latest bug report from QA.
This is the part of the game that I think kids probably resonated with the most.
Can you use this script?
Thanks, little guy. Hey, these scripts aren't bad. Did you know that 2 of the writers are also artists? Wes Jenkins and Jim Pearson.
Da Vinci!
The Toolworks has some real Renaissance people on staff.
Need another artist, Jeff?
Thanks, Mario. But we'll call you.
Look at Mario up there in the sky. Oh, that's a very funny gag. Take a number, but it's the pin for a grenade. Do you get? It's a little high concept. Do you understand?
Hi. Can you tell me where I am?
What? You're in Novato, California. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to chat just now. I've lost a very important floppy disk. It had the final version of our latest edutainment product.
Hi there. What do you do here?
We assure the quality of Software Toolworks products. We play all of the games and try to break them. That means we find things that aren't working.
Uh-huh.
Wow. It looks like fun.
Oh, it is. But it is also a lot of work, and everybody's always in a rush to get their products shipped by the time we get them, so we have to deal with a lot of people.
Like who?
Mostly the programmers. In fact, I'm waiting on a bug fix from Tony Farmer. He's probably roaming the parking lot right about now.
Like who?
Nope, just a coop out there.
Mostly the programmers. In fact, I'm waiting on a bug fix from Tony Farmer. He's probably roaming the parking lot right about...
Do you want this art file?
No thanks, I wouldn't want to risk a virus.
Uh-huh.
Do you want this art file?
No thanks, but I'll take any shareware DOS utilities you have.
How dramatic. But don't worry, I have the disc.
Oh, thank goodness.
Need another artist? Hi, can you tell me what this is?
Is this a trick question? It's a floppy disk, of course. Is the new artwork on it? I've been waiting a long time for that new art.
Everyone was just so excited to be part of this game.
This art file.
Hey, that's just the file I've been waiting for. Why didn't Jeff put it up on the BBS like usual?
BBS? What's that?
Are you new around here? BBS is the bulletin board system. Oh, you must be the new guy from QA. I'm Don Lloyd, but everyone calls me Murphy. Here's the bug fix your department requested.
Oh, look, it's like a little fly swatter, because it's a bug fix. Do you get it? It's a little high concept.
Can you use this bug fix?
No thanks. I wouldn't want...
Do you want this bug fix?
Great. If this bug fix works, we should be ready to ship by next Friday. That is, if those darn writers would stop making changes. Which reminds me, here's the latest bug report.
Here, have a bug report.
All right. Now I can edit your final joke on this script. Let's see how this reads. I'll just load up the artwork that corresponds to this script.
Hey, that sounds good. What's that music?
It's a new composition from Don Griffin. the guy who did the music for your history game.
My
now
history
it's almost
game?
ready to ship. You better get that disc to Greno before we make more script changes.
I bet kids really enjoyed this. Sad. The number of people involved in bringing you this game is amazing. Don Lloyd. Okay, who was the lead artist then? Jeff Griffith.
Hey, Greno, you looking for this?
Hey, Greno!
The Time Machine ship disc. I've been looking all over for that. Now we can send the game out to stores everywhere. How can I ever repay you? Thanks, Mr.
Mario!
Mario
Polo.
Sure you are. And I'm William Shakespeare. Well, I've got a meeting to attend. See you around, Mario. And say hello to Luigi
Yo, Jeffy,
for me.
thanks so much for the resub.
Mario.
Yo, Greno, I'm back!
Oh, hi, Mario. Thanks again for finding that disc. We'll be shipping this history game on time now, thanks to you.
In the distant future of 2000? Uh-oh. That was delightfully out of tune. There's a bad ending for this game if you take too long? Take too long how? Like, just... your gameplay just... you go slowly? I'm gonna take a quick screenshot of this. I feel like the font here is actually enough to identify this game, right? Like, I think this... Sorry, I'm thinking about giving this to Smite for a screen crap. I feel like the font is enough to identify this as a Mario game, right? Like, this one actually doesn't feel hard. Okay.